The stream is starting. Here's a song I wrote. It's a parody of Big Rock Candy Mountain. And then we'll play another parody called Far From Any Build.
One evening as the sun went down and our cooking coals were glowing, down the path came a party hiking, and they said, folks, we're all going. We're yearning for a portal far away in a tavern full of shouting. So join us, friends, and let's descend deep into Under Mountain, deep into Under Mountain. There run dungeons hot and cold, where the monsters surge and pushes, and the youngest runes are old, where the mimics all lie waiting, and the goblin werebats roost, all the wisps and wasps and the mezzo lost, the hidden pit where we'll all plummet deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, all our blades will sing like choirs, as our arrows strike like drum beats, and our green flame pops and pyres. Our barbarian will stomp a brood as the rogues dance shadow play. Oh, we're sworn to go at a great tempo. We'll chant our spells as we now delve deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, you'll always find new gear, and your old mundane accoutrement can be handed down, don't fear. The magic items you'll attune and the artifacts you'll find. There's armor with gems and weird potions and a propeller hat that lets you ascend deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, the mad wizard stood gates so folks can open portals. He left clues to activate. He has a thing for puzzles and he likes to throw his voice. We're going to delve to where he dwells, to the lowest tower, to seek his power deep into Under Mountain. I'll see you there, the lowest lair, deep into Under Mountain. From the mining mesa, the helping hermit stream, mocking in the rages of their chat proximity. They block their blocks down quickly toward their stated goal. And when y'all tune in, your laughter's uncontrolled. When the last flight brings more blocks and the fireworks go cold, HermitCraft will build together, not alone. So watch with us each Monday, remember to follow, so the chat can see you there, so you never miss a show.
Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. We just surprised our good pal Vintage Beef a little bit. I was hoping he wouldn't notice us. My plan was to sneak up behind him and just let the experience go to me instead of him. But of course he got done right as we approached. But that's okay. That's okay. Glad y'all can join us today. We got 3 chats open. We've got the Discord chat for the Patreon patrons. I see we've got Amanda over there. Howdy, Amanda. In the Twitch chat, we've got a few folks. Hannah, Daya Woods, Water Prince, Mr. Hardluck, Emily, Book of Charlie, Alex DiParazzo, Louise, Daniel J. McGrail, and Water Prince. Oh, I think I said that one. And then we've also got Amanda, Clam, Elizabeth, Shalom, Loopy, Scoon, Clumsy, and Iconic Anemone over there in the YouTube chat. Glad y'all could join us. We are just getting set for our Monday stream. Setting up the stream now, if you will. Gathering some materials to repair some equipment, you know, that sort of thing. So I am glad that y'all could join me. Hey, Gabe, in the not YouTube, in the Discord chat there. Let's, okay, make sure I'm kind of still, like I said, it says setting up stream because I am actually, like, mentally figuring out if everything is where it needs to be. I'm back from my trip in England, and I had a great time, but, like, it's taken me a little bit to get back in the groove. I'm definitely more relaxed and energetic than I was before the trip. It was a much-needed vacation. Emily writes, Joe, just saw your video recapping your London trip. Sounds like it went extremely well. Glad to have you back on this side of the pond, though. Well, you know, in some ways, I am glad to be back. I really do enjoy making videos and hanging out with y'all on stream. I'm happy to hang out with my daughter. I do miss my fiance, though. I was trying to talk to some attorneys earlier today about the immigration process. It's a lot. It turns out the U.S. immigration system is complex. Yay. So we are working on that. Badger writes, and I miss you too. Oh, thank you, Badger. I'm glad that that's not completely one-sided. That would be a little bit worrisome if so. Yeah. Let's see, what else do I need to do before we take down the setting up stream now sign? Oh yeah, I need to mention that this is a viewer-supported stream, and tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. I'm down here in slot 9, putting the hot in the hot bar until we hit the first face camera expansion milestone, and then the camera will get bigger. Water Prince says, can we play on the server, or is it Pravit? I actually don't... Is that Russian? Does that mean truthful? I think that this is a pretty truthful server. It's hard to say, though. It's hard to say. Maybe on average it's a truthful server. Maybe there's some people who drag that away from the mean. I don't know. Maybe some of us are so extra truthful it evens out. I cannot say with any confidence. Gabe says, you seem to be feeling a little calmer. Glad your trip went well. Oh, me too. Me too, Gabe. Okay. Let's think through what we got to do next. Let's... now that we've fixed our elytra, I probably should have set my spawn somewhere else. But that's fine. We can just go ahead and fly back here. Yep, so if you are interested in behind-the-scenes stuff, my show is actually filmed before a live streaming audience. When the face camera is on and I'm down here in slot 9 putting the hot in the hot bar, or sometimes later in the lower left or whatever, talking or whatever, that means we're kind of between segments of the YouTube episodes. But occasionally I'll hit start recording and the camera will go away, the webcam, and I'll start talking to the YouTube audience. So my episodes are kind of like Full House or Family Matters, where they'd say, this episode was streamed before a live studio audience. Except instead of a live studio audience, it's a live streaming audience. And that's you. So we are back here at our pinball machine. Deep field. Okay. So... oh boy. Let's drop off these ender pearls. Yeah, one of these chests here. What's the matter with the pearls I'm entering? Da 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 da. Do 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 da 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 ba dum bum ba da 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 do 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 do. Let's see. We need to grab some moss. Is my light box in here somewhere? I think my light box is around the outside. We'll grab that next. Let's put our fallback elytra in here now that we've repaired it. Excuse me. Sorry. Ugh. Spring has arrived here in Nashville, and I'm starting to have some sneezins. Yay. Okay. So if we go out this way, we can hopefully find a little bit more moss. Oh, that is not as much glow lichen as I was hoping for. We're gonna have to get some... Ooh, don't love that. That's a little bit of lag. Welcome, the Rose of Demeter. Hope your muffins go well and your oven preheats evenly. Okay, so we're gonna grab some of these then. And we also need to grab some ice blocks. Uh-oh. Yeah, blue ice. Okay. Quartz, white concrete powder. And it's beginning to snow. Okay, so we're going to take the ice back to decked out. The moss and the bone meal is for our enchanted forest thing over here. Just going to do a quick pass on that. Okay. Oh, there was something else over there that I wanted to look at. Brrr. Let's do the forest first, and then we'll go back to the pinball machine. And then we'll grab some ice. We'll grab more ice. Because, like, right now, I'm still kind of... We still have setting up stream on. Because I'm still, like, just wrapping my head around what we have to get done today. So the theme of the episode is spring cleaning. And we're just going to be doing some touch-up work. Uh-oh. Definitely just lost my connection to the server. Not dropping frames to Discord, but yeah. Boy. Yep. Let's see if I switch... Let's try switching my VPN that I'm connecting to the server with over to Canada. Real quick. Okay, that's at a lower load than the US one. And let's see if that fixes this. So I've got a VPN that I'm only routing my HermitCraft stuff through, because I was having issues with HermitCraft routing with my normal internet. Okay. Welcome to Canada, writes Amanda. Thank you. Got my passport now, might as well use it, right? Okay, that's a little bit more responsive. Not as responsive as I would like. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to put some glow lichen on these fellas here. Daniel J. McGrail says, are there any Canadian hermits? Etho, Vintage Beef, Gemini Tay, Iskal, let's see, who else? ZF, Cleo, Wells Knight, there's got to be a few more. I feel like there's more. False Symmetry, Isuma. So we're having the moss kind of spread over the... That'll kind of make it look like it's starting to bud a little bit too, I think, which should be a cool look. Kindleus is adamant that Isuma is not a Canadian problem. Oh yeah, Doc M77, very famously Canadian. Let's see, our first tip of the stream just rolled in. Thank you very much to Geek of Many Topics for the 5 who writes, Miles, there's a tip. Thank you very much, Geek of Many Topics. That puts us 15 away from our first Phase Gamer expansion milestone. Tips are welcome, of course, via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, for all I know, that kid's dad might work with one of my friends or something. Like, because like they were flying out from Nashville. They were a local high school. I am probably like 1 degree of separation away from this person. Uh, yeah, Pearlescent Moon, extremely famously Canadian. You know, actually, maybe I want to do this at night. Maybe this will look better doing it at night. If I can just manage to avoid having mobs. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, this the lag though is making this very hard. I don't want to get creepered in. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely just got disconnected because the just cut out. Dang it. Let's go ahead and just manually disconnect or reconnect. Rose of Demeter says, not another inside stream joke I wasn't here for. Nope, that's from my latest HermitCraft episode. That's asynchronous in jokes. So yeah, you can catch up on that anytime you want. It is really shocking how bad this internet is. Is anyone else having server connection issues? Doesn't look like Impulses. Just me. Just your pal Joe. That's fine. Beef is back and there's gonna be trouble. Hey ya, my beef friend's back. Okay, so let's see, where do we want to go from here? I think that one would be a good one. Dang it. How dare you? Okay, I'm gonna time that person out for spamming. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Yeah, I don't think anyone mobbed you for not watching. I think you said that and then no one responded. I think you're okay. A lot of people who watch my stuff are busy. It's fine. I'm busy. I get it. Okay. The big thing is we need to have at least one light on each of the, I don't think stuff can spawn on the mangrove roots, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so can we go in the back here without problems? Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and dump a bunch of blue ice into this box. Okay, we're gonna grab that. What we don't have with us right now is more moss lichen. Or more bone meal. Okay, so we're gonna go back to my base area. Grab some more of that stuff. Things do spawn on roots. Ah, good to know, Mancho Maker. So I'll have to light that up better. Regardless, is what I'm learning. Okay, so surplus bone goes up here. Yeah, the other thing I wanted to do was review the quarterly planning stuff. So let's see. Because we've got tonight's quarterly planning meeting with NJ Coffee Junkie. Looks like I've already got the signs up for June, May, and April. Awesome. TPF didn't happen. TGD did happen. That happened. Pinball, maybe UK trip stuff. Spring trees. Okay, so we're on track there. Okay, we did those things. Did I do something for Groundhog Day? Yeah, we did the Groundhog Day theme. Didn't do Valentine's Day cards. Draw for Charity President's Day weekend I did. Build pinball machine components. We didn't really build too many of those. 5 a.m. Thursday streams didn't happen. January overflow. Post-Dracula Saturdays. Possibly host people for Draw for Charity. Okay. New Year. MLK. Groundhog Day. Draw 4 planning. Snowman. Pixel art on pinball machine, cut playfield. We did not cut the playfield. I still need to work on the layout. RL component footage integration, we still never got to. Pinball machine art, didn't do Chatacon. Okay, yeah. Cool. Okay. Forgot to get the bones. Dem bones. Gotta get dem bones. Okay. That might be enough. I don't know. It's hard to say. Yeah, we gotta get more of the blue ice. Really? I feel like there was more. Was there not? Did we get all the blue ice? No, there it is. I was like, I know it's in here somewhere. Blue ice. Okay. Let's, drop these mushrooms off at the potion area, too, real quick. Hi, bees. Leaf pelt, yeah, my trip went well. I'm glad too, believe me. Scream, stream, dream. I probably should pick up some shears too, but that's not urgent per se. We have enough bone meal to kind of just do this for a while right now. That's nice and relaxing. Welcome, Leaf Plays Games. Thank you for the raid. My name is Joe Hills. I'm broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm currently just making my spooky forest feel a little bit more ready for spring by adding some bioluminescent lichen on the outside here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the idea here is to have the forest change as the HermitCraft season progresses. And so that way, like in the background of people's videos, like when you go back and watch other people's videos as they fly past here, because this is kind of centrally located, you'll kind of have a sense of the time period. Like little detail work like this, that stuff not staying completely static the entire HermitCraft season really can add a lot, I feel, to like the life of the server. The life of the server. The life. Living la vida, HermitCraft. I will bone meal moss. Living la vida, HermitCraft. Like Springsteen, I'm the boss. Living la vida, HermitCraft. Living la vida, HermitCraft. Have a good night, Leaf Plays Games. Or afternoon, I don't know. Okay. Does this jump across here at all? No, it doesn't. Oh, that's okay. Find next part that does have a moss block. Yeah, that doesn't touch. I guess I could technically bridge that temporarily, like so. But now, with the magic of bone meal, welcome, Cop Flop Pop. Glad you could join us. We were just having a nice chill afternoon here. I've been thinking about some stuff that I'm going to talk to NJ about on our quarterly planning stream. About like long-term objectives and schedules. And on some level, maybe that would be helpful to bounce off y'all now. Because this is tentative, brainstormy stuff. And it's going to be tentative and brainstormy when I talk to NJ about it during the planning call. But maybe it would be good to have a little bit more thought put into it on my end than none or very little. So whew. But yeah, one of the things I've been thinking about is I don't know how many of y'all read my newsletter, and it's okay if the answer is almost none. Um, but in the long term, the plan was never for me to run the newsletter forever. And so Tommy has been taking that on and doing a great job, I think. More lately, as I've been preoccupied with other things, or I had internet problems this morning. And so I'm thinking that right now I've got Monday morning set aside for a newsletter call with Tommy every Monday. And I'm thinking of starting to do kind of a slightly more aggressive streaming schedule in the mornings. Because, like, right when I get back from dropping my kid off from school is, like, the best time for me to stream, because a lot of the UK people are still awake, including the people that's hard for me to collab with. And so, or, like, they're still working, because some of them, like, they only work in, like, the mornings or early afternoons their time on the server, and then they go into editing. And when they're editing, they're not, like, playing on the server, right? So then I don't get to record with them much. So I'm thinking about... I've had a lot of good luck with my Thursday and Friday 8:30 a.m. U.S. Central Time streams. And... oh, hey, thank you, Paul Onderasek, for the 20. Just saw that. He says, no one puts Joe in the corner. Hope you're having a good trip. Paul, you're about to put me in the corner. Watch. Please direct your attention down here to slot 9, or I'm about to put myself in the corner because of Paul's tip. Do-do-do-do-do. That's right. The camera gets bigger every time we hit a face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, the newsletter is at joehills.net. joehills.net category newsletters. Ooh. So I'm thinking maybe I should be trying to stream every morning at 8:30 U.S. Central Time. Not weekends, because that's when I like to take my daughter places, or we'll make her breakfast or whatever. So not like Saturday and Sunday, but I'm thinking maybe weekdays streaming at 8:30 a.m. That wouldn't mean no more HHH, because I would take a lunch break and then come back for HHH. But like that way I get a head start on working on my episodes earlier in the week also, because HHH doesn't always end up in episodes. So that way I start Monday strong with some work on my next episode, do a lunch break, come back and have a hangout for HHH, and then Tuesday morning used to be my big day for freelance work. It used to be Tuesday morning and Tuesday afternoon were freelance work with a little bit of editing. But I'm thinking Tuesday morning, another HermitCraft stream, and then Tuesday afternoon set aside for editing. Because I figure between Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and HHH, and Monday night, I might have enough footage for an episode right there on any given week. And then Wednesday, I would still do the craft stream in the morning. So no change to Wednesday. Thursday would still be the Quinn HermitCraft streams in the morning. Or occasionally other weird stuff like Mario Kart. But Thursday would be the Quinn streams. Friday would be the coffee and HermitCraft. So basically, take the Friday. If you've seen the Friday streams, doing the Friday streams on Monday and Tuesday as well. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? And there are some folks in the Discord who are saying that they love the newsletter. Tommy's doing a great job. Okay, yeah, so that's the thing, is the newsletter is primarily focused on people in the Patreon community, or audience-wise. It's going to have more general purpose stuff once I start doing more traveling and announcements and have stuff to promote in terms of stuff like that, but... Amanda says, I'm a big fan of the Friday streams, but I worry about you burning yourself out. Well, so Amanda, that's actually one of the objectives here. And this is why I wanted to talk through this, because one of the things that burns me out worst is when I'm spending a lot of time on the server doing grindy stuff, but I'm not making progress on episodes. And one of the problems I have is on Monday night when I record, I almost never get usable footage because I'm so tired from all the other administrative stuff. Monday a lot of times ends up being kind of a heavy administrative day for me. And then by the time Monday night rolls around, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to record. Let's just work on some grindy stuff and then we'll record tomorrow. But then Tuesday, because I don't do a stream on Tuesday, I don't always get a recording in, right? And so then when I would get done with my freelance work on Tuesday, sometimes I would be like, okay, great, now I can edit, but I don't have any usable footage. And so I kind of end up in this loop where then by the time Thursday night rolls around and I'm doing another, I'm like, oh boy, like I got caught up working on this other thing, and then like I'm just trying to get myself into a cycle where I have footage at the right times for me to edit it. And then I've got, and I'm, so like what'll probably end up happening is as I start doing more Monday and Tuesday morning streams where I'm actually getting the footage, probably the Monday night streams and Thursday night streams would, not always, but more often become like replay mod streams, or they would be streams where I'm like, oh, I need to get one more shot of this. Let's do some voiceover work. They would end up being kind of more touch-up streams or whatever, if that makes sense. But, and so the thing is, though, it's not like the Monday and Thursday night streams I was getting a ton of usable footage anyway. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a difference, per se. Mahi says, I'm in favor of this. It sounds more manageable. Maybe try it for a month and see how it goes. Yeah, what I'm kind of figuring is I'll try it through the end of the school year, because we are at the point where we've got about we're in the last quarter. Spring break just happened, so we're in the last quarter of the school year. I kind of feel like let's try it out, and then when summer rolls around, maybe make some changes. Because, for example, I'm not sure if I want to wake up at this time in the summer, but right now, for the school year, I have no choice. Hey, Saucefire, thank you for the raid! If y'all don't know, Saucefire is the Dungeon Master for the charity event Mercy Road benefiting Child's Play that is going to be happening this year, April 1st through 2nd, a 24-hour D&D stream. I'm going to be playing in the game that starts at 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time, 6 Eastern. Saucefire is also Canadian. Hey, a lot of familiar raids here. Tyrannosaurus, Talp the Scott, Rex Verdi, woo! Lots of pals from the Penny Arcade community swinging by. Glad to see all of y'all here today. JD Lady as well. But yeah, I am very, very excited about that April 1st, 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time game. Delg is here. Welcome, Delg. Glad to see you as well. Saying hello to Delg and Eric. It's like everybody who watches Saucefire stream is somebody I know. yeah, that's amazing. So welcome. Glad that y'all could stop by. I'm just working on, I had winterified my little forest here by putting snow over it for the winter, and now I'm kind of, to make it more springy, I've added a few pops of pink, and I'm covering it with this bioluminescent moss here. I feel like that's a kind of a good way to give it a little bit of green, but not too much for early spring. And basically, I like to sometimes pick an area and then have it change with the season. So every few months I'll come through and touch it up. I had it like all orange and yellow for fall, and then, like I said, wintry with no leaves on it. I replaced all the leaves with roots and put snow on top of it for winter. I just got done clearing out the snow the other day. And I'm putting the moss on now. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. So, looks like night is about to fall here. So, while we head this way, or why don't we head this way? Oh, wow, because of lag, that's why. I also need to grab some shears here. And we can lay our head down and dream. Josie says, Joe, how's the speedrunner deck coming along? Great question from the YouTube chat there, Josie. I actually won a game with it for the first time yesterday. I lost 2 other ones. Hack the Gibson says, I just got here. Is Joe talking about changing the streaming schedule? I am. I'm talking about adding morning streams. And because right now I'm putting myself under a lot of pressure to get usable footage recorded in the nighttime streams. And what's happening is I'm too tired to have the footage be good. And so then I tried, like, well, I'll just do more recording off camera. But I kept having audio issues or corruption issues or things like that. That, like, if, like, most of the problems I was having were things that if they were broken in OBS the way they were, you would have seen it on the stream and told me, right? That's one of the reasons I film everything on stream for the most part. So my experiment with doing more morning recordings that weren't streamed was a success in that it showed me that I really need a live audience to keep an eye on the quality of the footage and audio. So basically, because, like, if you guys remember that episode that I had where I was like, okay, we lost a bunch of footage, let's just describe everything I did in the last few weeks, right? That was stuff that I had tried to record off camera in the morning. And so I'm thinking instead we record on camera in the morning, and then we do the grindier, more chill stuff in the evenings. So the evening streams are more of a wind down hangout, maybe do some replay mod stuff, maybe do some grindy stuff. Yeah. So this is so yeah, it's basically the goal is to make my process better. It'll be easier for me to go to sleep at night if I have less caffeine during the evening streams. And if I'm not recording as much like voiceover footage at night, you know, I can kind of wind down more easily as well. So I appreciate the person who was concerned about burnout from me adding streams. But, like, what I'm really, like, it's not that I'm getting burnout from streaming, it's that I'm getting burnout from having a bad video production pipeline. You know, that's what was stressing me out, was I kept looking at all this footage and being like, half of this is unusable. And now I'm too tired to do anything with it, right? Or I'd be like, man, I had to have so much caffeine to be awake enough to record this stuff at night that then I'm having a hard time winding down for the evening, you know? So I would still do the streams at night, but they would be more chill streams, more relaxed and less, you know, less intense. And I think that that's good. If I front load my day intensity-wise, I think we're all going to enjoy what I make more. Plus, that'll give me a chance to, I'll be, basically, so I'd be streaming in the morning, and then I'd be reviewing the footage in the afternoon. And then for the nighttime stream, I'd be like, you know, I was looking at the footage, and here's the 3 pieces that are missing to get the episode knocked out. Yeah, so we'll try this for a little bit, and if it ends up being more stressful, you know, I'll roll it back. But I have a feeling that this is going to actually be a broad improvement. Does Scar know you shoved all kinds of materials into Pearl's shop? He ran out of stone. I don't know. That's Pearl's job to tell her, or to tell him. I'm not in charge of Pearl's shop. No thanks on the muffin I just ate, but good luck enjoying your own. Loopy says, I don't think it 100% shakes out like you think it does. Okay, Loopy, I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there. The goal is not necessarily to drastically. I mean, it would be nice if that resulted in more tips, but I mean, as you can see, I'm streaming in the middle of the day now, and I'm $15 away from the second face gamer expansion. Um, so no, this is not motivated financially. I don't know. The daytime streams don't make as much as the evening streams, but I feel like the evening streams would be better and more enjoyable for people if I was not stressed out. And the goal here is more to just improve my overall production pipeline. And I've been thinking, like, part of the problem I had before the England trip is I was so stressed out all the time. I didn't really have the opportunity to think about making changes because making changes is stressful. It's like I have something that kind of works and I don't want to tamper with it too much. But now that I had a few days away and I had some time to think, I'm like, okay, this theoretically will make my life easier and get more YouTube episodes out. And honestly, it's not like I make money off the YouTube episodes either, but like I like making them and I get annoyed when I'm bad at turning them around quickly. But yeah, this is not an ad revenue supported stream. So like putting out extra YouTube videos won't I'm lucky to make $60 off each episode maybe on like a big one. Um like but the thing is though that the the episodes are kind of uh, I don't know. They're like this is the hangout I want to hang out in, but the episodes are the story I want to tell, right? Like they're different things. And I feel like I'm failing as a professional storyteller if I'm not putting out episodes regularly, if that makes sense. Um so I just like I don't know. But like I can tell that I get stressed out when I feel like I'm behind on episodes. Um like I'm just like because it makes it harder to collab with other hermits when you're like, oh, this doesn't fit into my episode, but I want to do it, or like it's harder to say yes to things. Um, like Adam says, "Evening, Joe. Nice episode. I loved you, or I appreciated you sharing your London experience. It was fun to listen to it." Oh, thank you, Adam. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. That was a very um, exciting experience. I'm looking forward to like that's one of the things I also realized is I used to my episodes used to be a lot more of a vlog where I was talking about like while I was building stuff in HermitCraft, I'd be like, here's what I was up to this week. I went and I saw this lecture at the university, or I went here and did this. And my episodes were like kind of a record of the cool stuff I did around town, and like um I stopped doing cool stuff. But I should start again. And it's easier to do episodes. It's easier to do stuff like that, to have episodes where you're talking about what you were working on, or not what we were working on, talking about things you went or saw. Um, like when you are putting them out at a higher pace, right? Um, like people keep asking me, Joe, why don't you make a podcast? And it's like the YouTube series and the streams kind of are the podcast, but it's not. There's kind of different. There's different levels, but basically, about half of the stuff that I do that ends up like on my Twitter really should also end up in a YouTube episode. Like every time I go to Tennessee Game Days, I should come back and I should be making an episode where I do something grindy. It's like, okay, we're going to dig out a bunch of stuff around the pinball machine, and I'm going to talk about the 6 new board games I played at Tennessee Game Days, right? That's but like honestly, I was just like it didn't even occur to me because I'm so out of practice after being stuck at home for COVID. I'm like looking through my photos from Tennessee Game Days, and I'm like, maybe I'll put these in a blog post, or I don't know what to do with these. And I'm like, dude, make a YouTube episode. That's what you've been doing for the last decade. Put stuff on YouTube. And so yeah. So kind of getting out and doing more stuff, you know, like I've been putting things into streams or onto Twitter or onto Discord that really should have been entire topics for just a whole HermitCraft episode. And that's where I feel like happiest creatively. So this isn't like, oh man, I need to max out my number of episodes. It's just like I need to get back in my groove, right? And that's like, I know from experience that's where my groove is, and I understand that there are good reasons I fell out of it because of COVID and the stress of the divorce and, you know, all sorts of other stuff. But realistically, like, figuring out what to do next isn't me going like, ooh, which technology should I take advantage of, like YouTube Shorts or whatever. It's me saying like, what do I enjoy doing, and if I'm not doing it, what's stopping me, right? And 99% of what was stopping me was I'm tired and I need a break, and I haven't had a break in a long time. And that's a real problem. But you know what? I just had that break. I just got back from the best vacation I've ever had, spending time with my fiance in London, and I have energy and I have perspective, and now is the time for me to say, okay, here's how we try things to fix this, right? So yeah. That's just kind of where I am on that. So Abji says, Joe, I used to play on an SMP that was really fun, but then the mod and players started fighting, even though they're adults. Any advice? Play on a different one. Start your own with people who are adults. Like, and act like adults. I mean, that's really it. Like, you're not gonna fix somebody else's SMP. Like, there's no advice I could give you to fix somebody else's problems. But if you run it, then you have your own problems, and you can then try to fix it. If you're running it, you can kick out a problematic player. You can avoid a problematic mod. Like, okay. Yeah, sometimes the answer is try again. Sometimes the answer is not you can fix this. It's you can do better next time. And that sounds like a do better next time type situation. I'm sorry that I can't give you anything more immediately productive, but you could describe the entire situation to me in detail, and I'd probably end up saying the same. Like, if you don't see an answer, you know the people. If there was an obvious way to deal with this, you probably wouldn't be asking me. Okay, we definitely need more bone blocks, so why don't we go grab more of those? I did not think that this was going to take so many bones. nom 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 nom. And so many pork chops. Infinachomp. And we're about to get disconnected. Insatiable hunger. Mima Sweet says that's a whole barbecue. Yep. Okay. Oh, it thinks we're still in the air. That's fine. Lag feast, not lag fest. Ah. Okay. Do do do. Da 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 bum ba ba dum ba ba dum ba ba da. Do 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 do. Yeah. Let's see if we left any extra lichen over here. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Welcome, Shalom. Glad you could join us. Wait, where was the bone one? Was this one? Let's put some of these back. But, I mean, obviously this is going to take a lot more than I thought. So, did we pick that up yet? Yeah, okay, there we go. And we can sort that head for later. Not looking great on the leg there. Just as a quick reminder, we are 15 away from our second face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We've been streaming for about an hour now. Da, 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 da. Wish I could hear anything. I am kind of worried. Ooh, what's that tunnel down there? Da, 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 dee. Yep, definitely disconnected. Uh-oh. See, this is... What? That doesn't go all the way underwater? What? We need to think of something funny to put under there. Rockets are not doing me any favors right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick up some of these. That'll make it easier to seed the rest when we get to trees that don't have any yet. Yeah, lag is rough today. Do I plan on keeping the inside of the machine as your base and storage? Well, so where my storage is now is actually inside of the plywood. The plywood walls are actually 5 blocks, or yeah, 5 blocks thick. So basically, where I put my storage would end up between the two outside facing edges of the plywood. So I don't have to make too many changes there. Tango, join the game. Ask Cub for 100 Shriekers and hook him up to a Skulk sensor. I feel like we can do better than that. It's just my gut, though. Okay. Okay, let's head over here. But yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about too is like, in terms of like things that stress me out or burn out, the biggest single stressor in my life is feeling like I'm standing still. Someone once asked me, and please don't throw out like a million weird hypothetical questions going, ooh, that was a really good hypothetical, Joe. Now I want to throw out, if you could be any type of cookie, what would you be, or whatever? Because like, no, that's off topic, and I will time you out or ban you. I don't have the patience for that today. I have energy, but not patience. There's a difference. In fact, the more energetic I am, the more relaxed I am, the less impatient. Or wait, no. The less patience I have for people coming in here with nonsense. Because sometimes I'm like, well, you know what? I'm kind of tired. Maybe they're going somewhere with this. But when I'm like, I know exactly what I'm doing right now and this person is not helping, like, justice is swift. So, yeah. So somebody yeah, when I have momentum, I don't want to be derailed, points out Magnor. Exactly. I have less, because like if I'm just goofing off and I'm like, I'm tired, I'm just doing something grindy, I'm not really working on anything, I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. But like right now we're like, even though this is kind of like the sort of grindy work I'm talking about, like what we're actually talking about is like serious brainstorming stuff, right? But somebody asked when I was like a guest on their stream or something, and I have way more patience for hypotheticals like this when I'm a guest on someone else's stream, because that's like a fun thing you can do with a panel. And I don't know if this was a George Fisher stream, but he sometimes has like 9-person panels where we're asked something like, I can't even think of an example, but like, which Disney villain story would you like to see retold with the Muppets or something like that? You know, it's just a hypothetical, and everybody can go around and pitch something, right? That's fun, but like, I don't want my chat throwing those out at me in the middle of a stream completely off topic, because it derails things. But anyway, so somebody had asked a hypothetical in one of those sort of settings. If you were going to be like a Greek or Roman god of some concept, what would you be? And I said motion. I feel most comfortable. I feel like natural when I'm in motion. I love being on boats and ships for that reason. driving I don't like because of other, like, concentration reasons, but like I like going places. I don't mind being in cars. I just don't like piloting a vehicle in the same way. Um, but like I feel at ease when I'm in motion. And conversely, when I feel like I'm stuck or standing still, it agitates me. And like not like I have a phobia where I can't sit still or anything, but like psychologically, when I'm in a situation where I feel like I'm in a holding pattern, and a holding pattern doesn't even mean like you're actually sitting still, but like circling to land an airplane. Um, like stuff like, where I'm waiting to hear back on something, or I'm waiting for something to happen. That's completely out of my hands. I feel like if I'm like I don't know, it's demoralizing, and it kind of slowly grinds me down. Like I said, that's not something where it's like, oh, I have an instant panic attack or I freak out or whatever. It's just like something just doesn't feel right, and it increasingly feels like it doesn't feel right over time. And so the pandemic, like, really put me in a weird spot because over the course of the divorce proceedings, which took about 9 months, um, there were just all sorts of things that I had to put on hold. My attorney is like, you can't move forward with, like, for example, incorporating a business during divorce proceedings because it looks like you're trying to hide resources. I couldn't make all sorts of plans about all sorts of things because it's like, well, you need to see what the judge says about the custody agreement, right? And so, like, even though I was unhappy about all sorts of things about the divorce and the situation, the fact that there were just like a whole bunch of things where like I couldn't move forward with anything until that was resolved. That was like really kind of antithetical to my nature. It was just like not good. And when I am making YouTube episodes, even though editing is not my favorite part of making stuff, when I'm making episodes, I feel like I'm making progress toward one of my original goals with YouTube, which was to practice being funny and get better at it. And when I am streaming, I am definitely practicing being entertaining. I know that. But what I don't have is the critical self-examination step that comes from editing and publishing and getting broader feedback, right? I feel like when I'm making YouTube episodes, I'm generally experimenting in different ways with either different technology or different techniques, and I feel like I'm growing. And so some people might be like, well, putting out more episodes, you're more likely to burn out quickly. Well, that might be true if I was trying to do cookie cutter things where I was just worried about numbers, right? But I'm actually like trying to unstick myself, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to change my schedule so that I get into a more productive feedback loop on self-improvement as an entertainer. And in that way, I'll feel like I'm in motion. Does that make sense? And I'll feel like, because I'll feel better as an artist. I feel that one of the whole points of being a self-employed artist is to be able to pursue things in a way that are rewarding for you. And just the pacing of my episode release schedule has been anything but rewarding for me over the last year. I was just in a situation, though, where I was so exhausted and behind on just like taking a break. I wasn't in a good place to figure out how to address it constructively. And now having had that break, it's the right time to figure out how to address that. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. And so, yeah, I appreciate the folks who are concerned, like, Joe, more episodes might mean increased chance of burnout. But what I was doing was putting me on track for burnout. And I'm paying attention and taking proactive steps, knowing things about myself. This is not something I'm saying like, oh, everybody would feel better trying to change their schedule in this way. But I've been working on making stuff creatively for a long time, and this is just something I know about myself, and something I'm going to try and figure out how to move forward with in as constructive a way as possible. Hey, welcome, Hood Chewer. Glad you could join us. Okay, so we're going to toss another one right there and there. Start spreading that around. I did have a great time in London. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you're glad. Nathan says, Joe, just seen your latest episode about London. Have you ever seen Taskmaster? So I haven't, but I was actually just talking to my fiance about that. We just finished The Wire before I left for London. We've been watching The Wire together. And so I was like, you know, a lot of people keep talking about this Taskmaster show. And you said several of the comedians that we saw at Old Rope in the Comedy Store were on Taskmaster. So maybe we should watch Taskmaster together next. And because it's not like a story, it's like a game show, I asked my fiance, I was like, you know what, if you want to look through, there's like 14 seasons of it, look through the synopses of the seasons on Wikipedia and tell me which ones have like the most people that you like on it. We'll just start with whatever season has the most people you like. So my fiance is going to get back to me tomorrow with that, because the seasons are available on iTunes really cheap. So, yeah. If you would like to support me watching Taskmaster, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are currently 15 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Huge vibe jump from The Wire to Taskmaster. Well, the thing is, though, like, you don't want to always... I like to watch all sorts of different stuff, you know? You don't want to always, like... Oh, I can't look at the television without feeling sad, because all I watch is sad stuff. With licensings, a lot of times it's easier to get foreign stuff just on iTunes. Just buy it. Because, like, it's really frustrating, too, if you get partway through a series on Hulu or something and then they lose the rights. If I'm going to commit to something, I also like to... I feel like in the same way that y'all encourage me by tipping to, like, make the stuff I'm making, I would rather pay for a copy of a particular show than pay for access to a network. So that way the people who are making the money decisions at that network say, like, oh, okay, we're selling copies of this show. Not just like, oh, people like our channel in general. Because a lot of times I don't like people's channel in general. I want to tell them only make more stuff like this, right? So I would rather buy the show individually. Well, that zombie is actually pretty aggressive. Wow. That's really impressive, actually. Pfft. Oh, wait. He's actually pathing to me. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, I didn't realize that he actually had a path all the way up to me there. Huh. The more you know. Doug says they keep data on what's actually watched, though. That's true. But I feel like the data where they got $10 for an individual season versus they got $10 for a monthly subscription to the channel. Like, if I spend $10 buying a season of Taskmaster, that sends a different message than spending $10 to subscribe to BBC whatever. Or I don't even know who makes Taskmaster. I don't even know if there is a BBC whatever subscription. But you know what I mean? And it might affect the royalties of the people who worked on the show as well. Maybe not everybody who worked on the show gets royalties, but some people might from, like, residuals from DVD sales or whatever. So, you know, I'm happy to reward them as well. And like I said, maybe I just think this way because y'all reward me when I make stuff. But, yeah. Anyone commit to joining HHH today? Not. We have one maybe. And that would be in about a half hour. Although the British people are on a different time, they might think it's in 2 hours. I don't know. Because the time zones are weird right now. Welcome, Yanaki. Glad you could join us. Is Tango actually accepting help for once? Well, he hasn't run me off with a shotgun, so kind of. Yeah, we've been putting some snow down over at Decked Out, too. Right now, we're working on my forest, though. They would have thought it was half an hour ago because there's less time difference than usual. Okay, well, they're not here, so... Doug says, I know one or two people in the industry. When a show is picked up for streaming, there's usually a single payout. Sales of individual copies get a reduced payout. Syndication is still the dream. Yeah, see, the thing is, I'm not in charge of any, like, syndicated networks, so I can't support shows that way. Like, if I was in charge of, like, TBS, obviously, like, yeah, me picking up a show for syndication would be a huge way to help everybody, but I'm just not there. Just not there at the moment, Doug. Alas. One day. Okay. Hey, that was rude. There, skeleton. Skeleton's gonna keep trying to shoot me. That's very rude. Not like maybe the first time was an accident or something, but like no. Here's repeated attempts on my life. Just as a treat. Okay, so it looks like we got some bits over there that need to be done. Okay. No, it's fair. Yeah, I don't know a lot about how people get paid for these things. So no, you're right. I am ignorant. I just think it's funny, the idea of me being in charge of syndication. That's where the joke is, so that's why I went there. I wasn't trying to criticize you. Okay. Pierogies and sausage for lunch. Nice. Enjoy, Nope Queen. Yeah, I made myself a grilled roast beef sandwich. That was good. Hey, NJ. I'm not sure how much of an HHH we're going to have. Nobody else has showed up yet, but it does start in like a half hour, so. Make sure... Okay, no, that's fine. Just got a message, but it's not urgent. Or about this. Right now, this is just me doing background work for my next video. Okay. Isla, don't tell people how many viewers they have. That'll make them neurotic. Or amplify their existing neuroses. Yeah, I actually don't look at my viewership numbers. I don't feel like that is a good way to judge my worth as an entertainer or as an artist. So the only thing that I really see is at the end of the stream when I hit the start raid button. But I know that that's wrong because I'm streaming on multiple services and that only shows me the Twitch numbers. But like, yeah. Yeah. Oh, come on. Again? Another skeleton? Where is he? Don't you do that. That is not nice. Hey. Welcome, Rex. Good luck at the doctor's office, NJ. Hope you get something sorted out there. Okay. No worries, Isla. Dang it. I knew that was going to happen, and I still looked around the corner. Feeling pretty good about this on the whole. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's actually coming through pretty well. There's like a big patch right there we need to touch up, but... Uh-oh, we're on the ground. That's where the monsters live. No creepers around. Quick check. Looks like we're okay. I'm more worried about how this looks when people fly over than anything, because I'm thinking about this in terms of how it is as a background element in other people's videos. Like, this is... Like, to some degree, HermitCraft is a huge collaborative art project, you know, and so you want to think about how what you build is going to look for other people. And filling in stuff like this, which has some seasonal changes and stuff, is really cool, but you got to do a good job with it. Or it's not worth doing. Chewer says, I love you keep changing it with the seasons. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's something that resonates. So even people who have no idea that this is mine will just see this in the background of somebody else's video and, like, they'll just be like, oh, that's cool, you know? Like, just creating that, like, huh, that's neat. That feeling, I think is something I like doing. you know? Been trying to think about, like, as I'm trying to figure out how to set goals for myself, what do I find rewarding? And one of the things I find rewarding is making stuff that people enjoy like that. Having the moss kind of creeping off the tree onto the ground is fine here. I also want to touch up these. Okay. What am I doing? I am working on my petrified trees here. With some moss on them that is spread from those trees to the adjacent birch stands here. So join the game. Howdy, X. Okay, so let's go ahead and just throw this on here. Hi, Joe. I assume it probably wants to go show me that snow thing. Would you be free soon to show me how the snow machine works? Let's move this to a awesome. Just and dang it. TurboJax! Whoa! Thank you for rolling in with a huge tip. 100 even. Boom! That is going to get us 5 phase grammar expansions. I was going to say, let's put this stuff away, but non-compostable trash. Oh, this is actually not non-compostable or trash. But either way, so here we go. Expand Joe. Do-do-do-do. Numero dos. Expand Joe. Da-da-da-da. Numero tres, even larger face, ba-da-da-do. And then for the fourth one, since that's our 5th expansion overall, y'all have seen that money go straight to my head with each face gamer expansion milestone we hit. But now, like Jacob Marley, these chains I forged in life are about to begin pulling us down to the beat below. Enter the Joust. Bum, 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 ba, 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 ba. Lowering the Joe opacity to 90%. And then we got one more to go. Grow hills. Do-do-do-do. Lowering the Joe opacity now to 80%. TurboJack says, I'm at work, but slacking, working RFCs, or writing RFCs is not super fun. Yeah, I bet. I was fortunate that my technical career, I didn't really have to do too much standards development. I either was like, we'll implement somebody else's standard, or this is a one-off for such a small business that isn't going to scale up that we don't have to propose standards, you know? We could just do something custom for this client, and then, you know, as long as it meets, you know, we had to have stuff meet spec, but, you know, but we weren't doing like big formal RFCs like we need to add this feature to the C language in order to accomplish our goals. Okay, so I was gonna head over to Decked Out. We've got the ice blocks with us, and that's where Asuma is gonna be joining us shortly. I like to take a quick break, a quick hydration break before we start these HHH segments, because if we have other hermits rolling in and stuff, it's, TurboJack says, I wish, but I'm glad we do it. Keeps us all on the same page. Been a software architect for 20 plus, or for more than 20 years. Oh, yeah, awesome. I mean, if you're, it sounds like you're definitely doing more serious work than I was. A lot of the stuff I was doing was just, like I said, relatively straightforward systems for small businesses, just around town, you know. So, wow, and we're getting a little bit of lag here. I have a feeling that rocket's going to kick in. But yeah, I was going to say, I need to refill my water before HHH starts. So we're going to get down here real quick. Let's make sure that the game thinks we're actually down here. Okay, cool. It does. I'm gonna change our spawn. I'm gonna put the hydration break, be right back sign on. So yeah, sorry to disappear right after a huge tip rolls in, but like, yeah, we've been going for an hour and a half, and this is the scheduled break. So I am going to thank, let's see, sheets.google.com. We've got our Patreon thanks list. Who do we need to thank for this hydration break song? Why don't we go ahead and thank Red Rags, who requested my Destinies in Tennessee, my Rhyming Geography Pokemon Go song. I wrote the words. It was arranged and performed by my marvelously talented sister Quinn, the artist formerly known as Sean Hills. So here we go. This song is less than 5 minutes long. I'll be right back with a fresh glass of water, and then we'll be joining Asuma to learn how this crazy snow machine works. BRB.
Folks say to be the very best, you gotta travel across the land. But I'm happy here at pretty good, just out walking with my friends. So you can fly from coast to coast for all the antics events. But my destiny's here in Tennessee, my Pokedex in hand. You run your laps chasing lickitung in Providence, and you arc your throws for Electabuzz in St. Louis. But when you're lost in Boston seeking Pokestops, boo-hoo, we'll all still be spinning them up on Rocket Top. It's true. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need Tanglers from Los Angeles. If you're there chasing Charizard, you're making your life way too hard. Clutching garlic, pounding pavement down Ventura Boulevard. We don't need Nidoqueens from down New Orleans. I hate to rain on solo you, but parades need a willing crew. All those squirtles on St. Charles saw you wandering and withdrew. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our Togepi's here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. We don't need Lapras from Minneapolis or Polipers from Mississippers. There's enough Weedles on Monteagle. We could evolve a swarm of Beedrill. There's enough Snubble down to Shovel. We could team Sled with Grumble. We don't need Oregon from out in Oregon or any Pikachus from up in Massachusetts. Sorry, Professor Oklahoma, we'll raid gyms in Tullahoma. Sorry, Pokecoin Palooka, we'll hatch on hikes Chattanooga. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace. Well, you can race to catch 'em all and fall flat on your face. We'll hatch our toga peas here in Tennessee at our own predestined pace.
Hey, we are back. Mima Sweet says, where can I find this jam? I've got the album link right here, Mima. DistroKid is our distributor. And this link will take you to a list that says like Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google, Amazon Music, Tidal, Deezer, iHeartRadio, and Napster. So if you enjoy any of our songs, the first album is right there. So Asuma should be back soon. While we wait for X, let's go ahead and take down this hydration break sign. Thanks again to TurboJax for that fantastically generous tip earlier. We are now $15 away from our next face camera expansion milestone. Just so you know, the camera, when it's on like this, that means we're kind of in like streaming mode. When the camera turns off, that's because I'm recording an episode. Asuma is going to explain this to me, this machine, the snowmaking machine, for an episode. So we're going to turn the camera off. So if you tip while the camera is off, I will acknowledge it when the camera comes back on. But I don't usually want to interrupt recording segment, because it's rude to the other hermits. But yeah, I will see it, and it will be acknowledged as soon as I have the opportunity to. So, let's grab some of this right here, and go work on that little lake I was working on. Welcome, everyone, if you're just joining us. My name is Joe Hills. You know what? Yeah, let's get that a little lower, so you can see more of this screen there. There we go. Okay. Iceman Sam, welcome, welcome. Glad you could join us. Do-do-do, ba-dun-dun-dun. Okay. See if there's any other places that would be good maybe for a little pool. Having a pool like right in there would actually maybe be interesting too. Kind of just feeling this out as we go. This big flat part here would have actually been perfect. I think I filled this in last night and I'm immediately regretting it. We should come back with a Silk Touch shovel. Touch that up. But yeah, like, let's see how those pools look. An ice fall would be cool. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I feel like we have the start of something good here. Like, this is really promising on the whole. Try Hard Techie says, how many people are helping play snow around Deep Frost Citadel? Probably about a dozen at this point, at one time or another. Like, not everybody logs on and does this all at once, right? So, we've got folks who, like, we did one HHH where we worked on the side over here. I feel like we had 6 to 8 hermits come in throughout the day to work on laying all of this snow around out this way. And then we've had other folks like False popped in last week to help with the other side. So people are just kind of swinging by and doing what they can at various times. So we're not necessarily having like one huge thing to get this knocked out. Right. Iceman Sam says, you inducted a parenting stream about a year ago while working on the fly machine. Thank you for the tips. Oh, I'm glad that I could be helpful in some way. I don't remember what I said, but I'm glad it wasn't a complete waste of your time. Yeah, there was a surprising amount of death in that HHH working on that. Yeah, that was a lot. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and place some snow until Asuma is free. Do-do-do. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-dee. Ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. This is not perfect by any means. Let's try something. Something like that might be a little bit too much. I'm not sure. Like implying that there's like underground streams and stuff peeking out and freezing occasionally too. Sometimes there's thaws under the snow. I don't know. Maybe it's not a great call, but like I feel like having something like that and this, just little hints of color are gonna, and we'll have other people coming in who are better at detail work, kind of adding other terrain features and stuff. We're not just gonna leave this a big white sheet, but a big white sheet is a great starting point. Have a great one, Shalom. Okay. Iceman Sam says blank canvas. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of, the nice thing about doing this is we're capturing the original terrain and then we're expanding on it. We're extending into it in ways that I think will feel right for Minecraft players. This is a little bit off right here, but you know, it's fine. Honestly, I think having this come down and back up would actually be cool. Yeah, so we're not going to go all the way down there because that'll leave that open and visible. It should feel like the terrain, the natural terrain is covered in snow, you know? Rather than this being like something that feels like it was made in some sort of sculpting program. It's like, okay, this feels like Minecraft World Gen, but colder. I don't know. It just, there's something there. Hey, welcome, M. Lavis. Glad you could join us. Oh, you said howdy earlier. Sorry, I just like so focused on my snow placement process here. I am missing things, so apologies for that. Kind of like the idea that this valley here is somehow incorporated. How does that actually end up working, though? Because of the way that protrudes out. And Lava says, Joe, did you pick up any souvenirs? Yeah, I bought my daughter a pair of double-decker bus socks, or Route Master bus socks, as well as a squeezable stress toy bus. Kids her age, for some reason, just love, they call them fidgets, but like anything that you can like play with like that is apparently like just super trendy. So that's great because like that was not spending a ton of money on souvenirs, and both things could be thrown into my, I only traveled with one backpack. I had no additional luggage beyond a backpack I could fit under the seat on the plane. So, yeah, I didn't want to. I saw
with him and show him what. I think he's going there to sleep.
I am going there to sleep.
Oh gosh, I'm so smart. I figured it out.
You did. Howdy, X.
Taking a snooze. Hey, Joe.
Yeah, I was just enjoying this bed here. Thank you for relocating my bed and my shulker boxes. It looks like you've been up to quite a bit. What is all this?
Okay, this is a contraption for you. As I was flying over, I was saying like, oh, maybe Joe's, using this farm, but like, I'm here to tell you how to use it. So then I sussed out, oh, there's a bed down there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this contraption is for getting snow.
Ooh.
All you need is a shovel that doesn't have silk touch, unless you really want snow layers.
Well, I do have a shovel that doesn't have silk touch. right here.
Perfect. So what you want to do, I'll go in here first so you can see me. But you go in here and you aim at the snow layer that's closest to you, so that then you're also aiming at the one behind it when you break it.
Okay.
You have
let
a
me
little
just-
step in there, and that should
Okay.
make sense.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Now, if you turn the farm on, it'll do some extra things for you, like give you XP for mending.
Oh,
The on switch is right next to your feet.
so does it count the number of snowballs, and then based on the number of snowballs, it hands you more experience, or is it on a timer?
It doesn't. It's just based on the pickup system. So, if you want to step out here, have a look,
Sure.
and let's leave it on. I'm gonna put the experience bottles back in that chest. So there is a detector rail just there. That's going to activate that dispenser. So this thing's going back and forth to pick up your items. It's setting off the dispenser to give you XP, and when the minecart gets down to the end here, it dumps all of the items into the water really quickly.
Oh, very cool.
Because normally you use hoppers, right, to pick up items.
Sure. Yeah.
The issue is there's like a limit to how fast you can move items, and you'll make way more snow than you can pick up in the hopper.
Oh.
So we dump it into a water stream. Yeah?
Interesting. And then that dumps into like 8 hoppers over time, or whatever.
Exactly. You got loads of storage. And also, if you want to like team up with someone, they can like sit up here and just pick up the snowballs before the hoppers do, and then craft in snow if you want to do that like super quick or something.
Oh, very cool. Wow. So did you come up with this design yourself?
Parts of it, I'm just throwing together concepts. Like this little contraption here, I believe, was designed by Ilmango, or at least like the HermitCraft crew. So that's the bit of technology that sorts out this minecart hopper and picking up the items. The bit that I did was just like add some redstone for the dispenser, put an on-off switch on it, and then position everything with the snow golem so it can pick up all the items. That was kind of the finagling that I did here.
Wow, this is a huge contribution, because you've seen how much snow we need for up top side. This is going to definitely speed things up.
Awesome. I'm glad to help. I might pop back later on as well. I wanted to hang out in my base for a little bit, do some stuff over there, and then I might come play some snow later.
Sounds good. I'll make sure we have plenty of snow ready. I'm going to give this thing a whirl. Thank you, X.
I tell you what, while you do, remember there's a chest there with some experience bottles you can chuck into the dispenser. I'll stand over the back here and just see how this little crafting thing works.
Sure, yeah.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah, I'll toss. So I toss these bottles into the dispenser. Got my shovel here without fortune, or without silk touch, and I'm just hitting these. So the filter or the hopper minecart must pick up a lot of snowballs pretty quick then.
Yeah, that's the idea. Like it'll pick up a lot of them because hoppers would be slow. I'm getting through like, what was that, 32 snowballs? That time it was 20.
So
Oh,
the
yeah,
hopper
between like
minecart's
30 and
just
20
faster
each time.
than the normal hopper.
Yes, a lot faster. Yeah.
Good to know. See, these are little redstone things that I just haven't worked with, and I wouldn't realize.
Yeah, if ever you're building a farm, it's good to know like what the options are. So if you've got a farm that like creates too many items to handle, then using hopper minecarts with this system might be better.
Gotcha. Yeah, and this mending thing is great too. I could sit here with a book or something and just chill, you know?
Yes, yeah, totally. Do you know the tricks for getting the game to think you're holding down click?
Oh, well, so I have a roll of tape that's heavy enough that I can just put it on the mouse button. I'm not actually using the adhesive part of the tape, just the weight, but it is basically taping down the button.
Got ya. Well, give this a try. If you're holding down the button and you press F3 and T, right, and then as you see the Mojang screen, you just let go of click. In theory, it should act as if you're still holding down click.
Oh boy, that's gonna be quite the contortion, because my keyboard doesn't have dedicated function buttons, so I've got to hold a function shift key, then hit the 3 button and hit the T button while clicking.
Oh, that's
with the
gonna
other hand.
mess with you then.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just leaving a roll of tape on the mouse button is probably fine for my purposes.
In this case, it does sound like it's best thing for it. Alrighty. I crafted you up. I'm just gonna chuck the snow blocks in there, but yeah, I just made a couple of stacks.
Awesome. Thank you, X. I appreciate all the help. The getting this built, like, this was a great gift to come back to after my trip to England. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I might see you again over here later on then, yeah?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, X.
All right, take care. I'll see you.
See ya. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording segment. Kindle says, Joe, you can configure your keyboard to default function keys as active, and then the function button does whatever those alt buttons do. Okay, but the thing is, though, okay, you're describing the buttons that say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I use those buttons more often to, like, switch tools in Minecraft. If I had to hit the function button to switch back to using the normal numbers at the top of the keyboard, that would probably push me off the sanity ledge a little bit. That's too much for me. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the recording off. We're gonna quickly turn the farm off. I'm curious to see now if X just threw those. Oh wow. So it looks like the earliest ones are going to be where there's the most. But yeah, this is wow. Okay. Daniel J. McGrail says, Joe, remind me why you don't have a keyboard with function keys. Because I don't normally need them. It's very small, is the thing. So you got to keep in mind, I do travel for conventions and stuff, and I'm kind of working on getting a generally pretty portable, like, my current desktop is too heavy to move to conventions and stuff easily, but my next major desktop purpose will probably be smaller, and so, like, having more room on my desk or being able to use random tables in hotels or things like that is definitely a priority. But yeah, I don't use the function keys 90% of the time on this computer because I don't because this is just a streaming and recording computer, whereas my editing and stuff is all on a different one. So you can pull things through a full block with a hover minecart. That part I knew. Okay, so let's make some of these. Probably the most productive thing to do here would be to set this down here. With the blue ice and the snow we've already retrieved. And we're going to put the bone block one down with the new stuff. Mahi Zero Woe says, super low profile keyboards are the new hit thing in gaming. Somebody says, what kind of keyboard? Oh wait, I realized the camera's actually big enough. I can hold up the keyboard and you can see, this is the size of the keyboard. It's, you can't really read the letters very well because the color is, you know, getting chromed out, but... Also, the keyboard was a gift, and so, like, but I was warned it wouldn't have function keys, and I was like, I don't think I really need those. Like, whereas what I do need is more room on my desk constantly, because I've got, like, a billion random props, like train whistles, and, like, extra adapters, and, Legos of my fiance and stuff all over the place. Like, I don't have room for all these extra buttons. Okay, so maybe I could get function keys for my train whistle. Do they make those? I think you're just joshing. Is there a keyboard shortcut to repeat the crafting recipe? That's the #1 thing I want in a new version of Minecraft. Actually, it's not even processing the ones I'm doing. Well, it did. It just lagged. Tryhard says 60% keyboard. Interesting. Do you prefer those for gaming or just like the size? The size and the audio profile because it's directly below my microphone. And like if I'm typing a lot, like hold on. It's very quiet. Whereas, like, my old keyboard, which I don't have nearby, was very distinctively loud. Would I make use of a programmable button pad? I mean, technically this thing already has programmable buttons. Like, I've got a macro here for when Scar logs in that says, "Glad to have you back, Scar." The thing is, like, the way I run my stream, I don't need one of those fancy macro systems like some people use, because I'm not, like, doing anything. I'm, like, the ways I modify my overlays, I like to do by hand. I feel like it's more interesting artisanally affecting the camera than just having, like, a fancy thing, right? That, like, automatically... So, like, for example, we're $15 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. And you know that when somebody sends me that $15, I'm gonna wildly move the keyboard, or wildly move the mouse around, right? So, Adam says, I use one a lot for CAD work. That makes sense. Like, yeah, there are certain things, there are certain jobs that you could have where they would make a lot of sense. I'm not saying that, you know, they're dumb for everybody. I'm saying they're not well suited for my workflow. Like, what I would probably want one for would be if I set up, like, a pinball streaming rig, where I didn't have a keyboard super accessible from the, from, like, actually the pinball playing position, but I did have, like, buttons for things that I might need. Like, I could see it being useful in a situation where I wasn't streaming with a keyboard in front of me. But right now I'm streaming with a keyboard in front of me and OBS in front of me, so... Yeah, so streaming from further away from the computer, I could see it being helpful. Okay. So we're going to turn the... Oh, dang it. Uh-oh, hopefully it doesn't break anything to toggle that on and off real quick. But, okay, so we want to be lined up so we are not hitting... Okay. Mima says, I'm shocked foot pedals aren't more popular on pinball streams. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, though, realistically, how many things do you actually need to do actively in the middle of a stream, right? You know, like, changing the camera angle could be helpful sometimes, but, like, it's just not, thing. I don't know. TurboJack says, I've got a Stream Deck XL, and the only thing I use it for is to turn my ring light on and off. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is, like, if I had other things, maybe, but yeah, just for right now, it doesn't make sense. M. Lavis, tippin' 15, says, for the example. I'm realizing it's hard. I don't actually have the tape within reach right now, so I'm just holding down the button manually. But yeah, that puts us evenly to our next face camera expansion milestone. So thank you, M. Lavis. Let's go ahead and expand. Just lowering the opacity now to 70%. Thank you so much. But it's hard to align this. Oh, you know what it is? I have Swift Sneak on. I'm like, how come I'm... Oh, interesting. You know, honestly, I don't know that we need... I felt like the bottles of enchanting were going faster than we needed them to. So maybe we save those for when the pick gets down halfway. Or if you're, like, actually AFK. Because I don't know how to get more bottles of enchanting easily. But yeah, thank you, M. Lavis, for supporting the arts and my show in particular. As you can see, the camera is now bigger because I alt-tabbed over into OBS and then messed with it. That's like my... That's where I'm comfortable. Right? You know. Like, I could see myself using a foot pedal more than I could see myself using a Stream Deck thing. Like, if I had a foot pedal for muting when I coughed, that might be nice. Because sometimes I can't get to OBS, and using hotkeys for that in-game, like while I'm playing the game, can be hard. Map a foot pedal to Alt-Tab. I'd rather not. You get bottles of enchanting from cleric villagers. Ah, okay. Cool. Deleg says a sneeze button would be dope. Yeah, because of my chronic cough, I do mute a lot. But... Impulse probably has a chest full. Good to know. Tryhard says, love the abacus. Haven't seen one of those in years. Oh, yeah. This thing is great. Because we do cumulative tips. So, like, when we hit a $20 tipping milestone, the camera is going to get bigger. But, like, I don't want people to feel like, oh, I don't have $20. I can't contribute. Because, like, if somebody tips $5, then we put 5 on the abacus, and it keeps track, you know? Dadavio says, I like the idea of repurposing racing sim foot pedals for pinball streams. The thing about those is those are intended to be used sitting down. They don't work well from a standing. I think you'd want like a different kind of foot pedal. Magnor Creole in the Twitch chat says, it's always hard to find the balance between new tools to make things easier and incorporating this would mess up my workflow too much and not actually improve things. Yeah. Emily says, I remember on one of Scar's streams, he meant to hit the sneeze button to mute himself, but instead he hit the bleeping out swearing noise. That's pretty funny, because I'm sure his face was like, ah. But yeah. I have no idea how quickly this is generating snow. You know what, though? I figured out, though, the other day, I had a process where it was like I was making... Oh, what was it? I was doing something like filling my inventory every 30 seconds or every 60 seconds. Toriel says, why not an auto snowball machine? Those are very simple. Well, I don't know how to make a car. I don't know if you've been to the movies lately, but they told me that I wouldn't download a car. So, an automobile snowball machine doesn't sound very viable. Plus, this one was a gift. Asuma made it while I was in England. I don't know that he meant to give it to me. But I accept. This was my little hut, and he built this in here, so I'm taking it out. Yeah, no more experience bottles. Well, we actually do have experience bottles in the chest, but I was going to say, like, it's actually dispensing them faster than we actually need them. So I was going to let this go down to about half, and then when it got back up to full, I was going to empty it again. March of the Fire Ant says, I would download a car if I had enough hard drive space. I'm breaking twice as many snow layers as my old method. Gotcha. I think we probably got enough snow here. I just wanted to give this a try. So, let's go ahead and, what do y'all think? How many experience bottles do you think we need to hit the full shovel? From here. Because we're at about halfway. Shoon Macaroon says 4. I think that's too low. I think it'll probably be more than 4. Tryhard Techie says 10 max. Because while we were standing here, we would have burned through both stacks if we had been using all of them. Miles Destruct says 7. Mizzle Shizzle says 24. Emily W says 10. Okay, so we're getting the shovel down to about half. Yeah, it's about half now. I'm going to take these. I'm going to put them in here. And we'll see. I'm going to keep shoveling. But I think, like I said, my thought was I'm pretty sure it's giving experience at a faster rate than we're burning it. It's definitely creeping up faster than it's going down. So once it's full, we'll check the box and see how much is left. Does it matter where I stand in relation to the dispenser, or does it give me the same amount of experience no matter what? The experience should be drawn to me as long as I'm collecting the orbs. Okay, cool. Okay. We've got a little bit less than a half hour left in the stream because I will have to go get my kid from school. Barbecue sauce is saying, I think about 30. I'm gonna switch fingers on the mouse so I can stretch this hand out. Why? I should have brought the roll of tape over here. I knew that we were gonna be doing this today. Uh-oh. Also, I realized I went to get that drink of water and I haven't even had a sip basically since Asuma got here. I've been so caught up in this. Mima Sweet says, wait, you wouldn't download a car at the movies? It was just on DVDs. Oh yeah, that was in movie theaters too. There's definitely enough of a rate of durability gain though that it's obvious that when your shovel is at max, you don't want to keep that going. Dispense for... You know what I also didn't do? I should have timed how long it takes to dispense an entire stack. Because in theory, if I did, like, put something on the mouse button and then sit here and play Mario Maker or something, I would want to know how long until the shovel actually lost. Okay, so you know what? We used all 64. And, it's not back up to full. Okay, so That's interesting. Okay, that's really good to know. The other thing we should probably keep track of is how long does it take to fill all the boxes, right? Because if I'm like, okay, well, I can put enough experience orbs in there to go through, you know, 2 hours of shoveling, right? But this thing fills up in 15 minutes. I need to know to empty this every 15 minutes. Or we need to add additional hoppers underneath here, empty. Because it looks like we filled 2 double chests and a half, maybe. 4 double chests and a half. Plus some of those did end up further downstream. It's less likely because of the fall off, but... yeah, that's interesting. Okay. But yeah, this generates a ton of snow, if you can't tell. Let's temporarily move some stuff out of here just to make some room. We're not flying anywhere at the moment. We'll hold 1 totem of undying in our offhand just because we've been having some lag issues. And then, oh yeah, let's take these snow blocks out. And, oh yeah, I should remind folks, we've been streaming for over 2 hours now. I missed the 2-hour mark because I was busy at the shovel machine. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are currently 20 even away from our next face camera expansion milestone. I wonder if setting the UI size to be smaller, I'd have to move the mouse less far. Would that be worth it, or would it be because it's a smaller click target I'd get more annoyed? Well, wait, I actually just did that whole box while complaining. So, I mean, maybe this isn't as big of a problem as it felt. Yeah, okay. So that was 3.5 stacks there. And now that is partially getting refilled by the hoppers as we go. Okay. Yep, so that one's empty still, but these ones are not. Still pulling some out of there. Looks like it took 5 minutes to dispense the stack of experience bottles. Okay. So that means it probably takes... So we could theoretically leave the machine unattended for 45 minutes or so safely before the shovel started breaking. But I don't know that we have 45 minutes worth of storage in here. Although we could easily add more hoppers and stuff. That wouldn't be too hard. Add more hoppers and more chests. But yeah, somebody standing here and making the blocks wouldn't have enough to do to justify them sitting here for the 45 minutes. Like, it's fast enough making the blocks after, clearly. Thank you, Denzel. I do what I can. I enjoy Smash Brothers as well. Okay. Click in and click in. Okay. This is a huge improvement. Assume avoids marvelous snow machine. Assume avoids marvelous snow machine. Makes all the snowballs that you've ever seen. It's Asuma's marvelous snowball machine. It'll fix your shovel and give it a glean. Asuma's marvelous snowball machine. Okay. And here we go. Kindle it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so let's get some of our tools and stuff back out if we're gonna go topside. We're gonna need surface tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't need the shears at the moment. Don't need the rest of that stuff at the moment. Actually, wait. I do want to grab some of the ice up there. That was a mistake. Put those two back so we have a little bit of leeway. Okay. So we got the bone block one, we got the ice one, we got 2 empty ones. Let's leave the 2 empty ones here for filling later. Okay. Why do I look like from the G-Man from Half-Life 2 intro? Oh, the camera gets bigger when people tip, and we are currently 20 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Emily says, I don't remember if it was Impulse or Tango did it. One of them made a macro to quickly craft gold blocks. Would that be helpful for snow crafting? I don't think so. Do you need the ink that glows? Writes Asuma. Stream snipers, snipe in the stream. Eventually, yeah. Okay, let's go lay our heads down and dream. Actually, it's about to be nighttime on the server. Nighttime on the server. Okay, let's grab that box too to move back downstairs. Lay your head down and dream. Welcome, Personal Zombie. Hope you're doing well. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting not putting in an ice lake there too. Because as we look at this from above, that really does add a lot. Okay, well, in the meantime, let's fix some of these other patches. Then we'll come back and look at that other stuff. New stack. Okay. So, that's that sorted, and then we need to work on that part over there. Bum bada bada bum bum bum. Do 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 do. La da 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 da. Ba ba ba. On your landing pad with the ice spikes. All of the glowing that you might like. I left it on the landing pad with the ice spikes. All of the glowing that your signs might need to be so bright. Neon signs! Your ink will find. It begins to glow, bright against the snow. Hey, Triforce. Doing well. Glad you could join us today. Okay. You know, actually, as I'm looking at this part here, this is another part that would be a good candidate for a little ice lake. Oops. Is that going to turn these into snowballs again, or does it keep them as blocks? Ugh, dang it. That's what I thought. Oh, this should also definitely be full of ice. Okay. Well, that's kind of an odd formation. We're going to clear that up. That's just too weird. Okay. Whoops. And that's blop. Okay, so then we fill in this with ice. Fortune 3 does not go well with blue eyes. Is Joe working on his new Screamo country album? Always! Denzel says, Joe, can I ask how you get on HermitCraft? Oh, you missed it. Earlier, I actually got kicked off HermitCraft. And so then I had to go back to the multiplayer menu and click on the name of the server. And then, like, I forget if it says join game or join world or something. But, yeah. Sorry I'm not doing a good job of explaining it. But there's a button that you press in the multiplayer menu when you have, like, a list of servers to, like, load up a particular one. And I pressed that button. But it'll be in the VODs. We got disconnected several times. You'll have the opportunity to find it. Not sure what to do with the livestock. That's like a separate problem to some degree. I might just kind of board up this whole thing. I don't know. Because it's gonna go all the way under there is the problem. So like if we had this kind of approaching up toward there. Tiny Mooncake says, Joe Hill's live stream is perfect for before work anxiety nerves. Ah, well, hopefully you have a good day at work. I will say, this is actually, we need to do a last call for tips, because I need to go get my kid from school shortly. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. If you have enjoyed the stream, you are welcome to contribute. If you would not like to or are unable to contribute, no worries. The folks who are tipping or have tipped are making this show free for everyone to enjoy guilt-free. So thank you to everybody who has supported the show financially this stream. Let's see here. We are working on getting this sorted. Yeah. And we should probably go lay our heads down and dream. Do 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 do. Frozen pork chops. Num 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 num. Frozen pork chops in bed. Nom 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 nom. Okay. Do 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 no 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 do. Okay. If I wanted to have a pool here as well, that would be interesting, maybe. Having it be a little wider or narrower could make sense. Okay. Hello, sheep. Can you hop up here? No? Okay. You're gonna get frozen in the ice then. Just make peace with that, sheep. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Is there wind in Scotland? Yes. That's why they want to build so many wind farms there. They should build as many wind farms visible from as many golf courses as possible. And there's my alarm to remind me that it is basically time to wrap up the stream and go get my kid. Doesn't look like any last minute tips rolled in. That is okay. Let's just go ahead and finish this stack and we will wrap up here. I was kind of hoping to get this whole little hill done, but that does not look like it's feasible. We're so close. But just the amount of time we've got, we gotta accept our limitations. Let's see what this looks like from up here. Yeah, okay. I think the light blue... Okay, so from this space up here, if somebody was like flying around and looked over there, this looks a lot better than it did. Those little lakes, I think, add a lot. Yeah. Because it's called, what, Ice Frost Citadel, right? So there should be some ice. It shouldn't just be snow. Let's go ahead and log out down in our little cubby here. Magnor says, thank you for the conversations about burnout and work strategies. Oh, yeah, thank you for listening to me while I was brainstorming about my schedule. There's always room for improvement, but there's not always energy for improvement. And so I'm trying to take advantage of my post-trip energy as best as I can. But that's why tonight on my live stream at 8:30 U.S. Central Time, which is in about 6 hours, I guess, I'm going to have special guest NJ Coffee Junkie, my project manager, who is going to be hanging out and helping me kind of plan the next quarter. So if you like kind of behind the scenes stuff, should be a good time. Okay, let's see. It looks like our good friend Tango Tech is working on a secret Zelda tune. Well, we better raid Tango then. I can't stick around to watch the stream because I gotta go get my kid. But we're gonna hit /raid Tango. And anyway, until next time, y'all, our raid message is howdy y'all, Joe Hills right here. This has been Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do. Right now.